Alright, this star checkpoint is reviewing parallel and perpendicular. So we're going to get into, and we'll take some notes on here as we go. But the main thing I want to focus on is making sure you know how to use your calculator strategies. So the first question is asking you which one represents a line that passes through point 4,2 and is perpendicular to this equation. So if you forgot how to tell by looking at the equation if it's perpendicular, you can always use your calculator. So the first thing I want you to do is think about how you would tell if it goes through point 4,2. So hopefully you remember you need to go to y equals, type in your answer choices, and then you go to your table. So the first one I started doing, even though it doesn't say y equals, I can easily do that by just getting rid of this 4. Since the minus 4, we do plus 4, so they move it to the end of this one. You do not have to distribute and combine like terms. Your calculator can graph that one. So I just type it in just as I see it, parentheses included. So it should look just like it does on your paper, and then you go to your table and look to see, does it go through point 4,2. It goes through 5.5, that's why it's not A. So I'm going to pause it. I want you to work through B, C, and D and see which ones actually go through point 4,2, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, hopefully you paused it along with me and you went ahead and found out that B did not go through it, but C and D both did. So now we have to check to see which one is actually perpendicular. So if I type in the original equation into y1, and then I put my answer choices into y2, and push graph, I can tell if it's perpendicular. Okay, so these two definitely are not perpendicular. They do not cross at a 90-degree angle. So it can't be C, so it has to be D. So let's talk about how we can tell by looking at the equation. Remember, perpendicular forms a 90-degree angle. So when they cross, it's going to be a 90-degree angle. And remember, your slopes should be opposites and reciprocals. So if your slope here is -3/4, you flip the fraction upside down, and it should be 4/3, and since this is negative, it turns to a positive. So that's another way you can tell that the answer would be D. But using your calculator works just as well. Alright, number 2. I want to visualize this, so I'm going to draw a quick graph. It's asking me which equation represents the line that passes through -2, 7 and is perpendicular to the x-axis. So I'm going to plot the point -2, +7, and it's going to go through that point, and it's going to be perpendicular to the x-axis. So if this is the x-axis, it's going to go perpendicular to it. So this is what the equation is. Okay, so remember, when it goes through the x-axis, your equation starts with x equals, because the slope is undefined, so you cannot put it in your calculator. So it's not A, and it's not C, and it's going through the -2 on your x-axis, so the answer is D. If it asks for parallel to the x-axis, it would have looked like that, and then your answer would have been y equals 7 if it was asking for parallel. Just wanted to review that because some other questions ask that, and I'm not going to go over each question. Okay, on number 3, it's asking you which one goes through 3, -9, and is parallel to the line graph below. So you have to look at this line here, and you can write the equation to put in your calculator, but I want to go ahead and just work through each of these and see one actually goes through 3, -9. None of them are in y equals, so we have to do some solving on this one. Okay, I'm going to work out A and B with you, and then I'm going to pause it and have you do C and D. And by the time we're done, you should be able to answer the question. Okay, getting rid of the x on both sides. Divide both sides by -2. Okay, so I should have gotten positive. -3 divided by -2 is positive 1.5. math fraction, positive 3/2, and then -1, remember, divided by -2 would be positive 1/2. Go into y equals, type that equation in, and go to your table and see if it goes through point 3, -9. It goes through 3, so it's not A. Okay, B is a little bit easier. I just need to subtract 2x. No dividing, so that's my equation. Y equals 1 minus 2x. Go to your graph, or your table, my bad. And does it go through 3, -9? No, it goes through 3, -5. So this one, if you graph it, would have been parallel to the line graph there, but it does not go through point 3, -9. It goes through 3, -5, so it can't be B. Okay, so remember, parallel means the same slope. Alright, I'm going to pause it. I want you to do the same. Once you work through C and D, there's only one answer that obviously goes through the point 3, -9 and is parallel. Alright, I think that I gave you enough of a review on the first 3 for you to be able to work out 4, 5, and 6. Okay, number 4, all of your answers again are in slope-intercept form, so you're going to have to do like you did on number 3 and work each one of them out. Make sure that it goes through that point first, and then sometimes you don't even have to go to the next step. On number 5, all of your answers are in y equals, so you can check to see which ones could even be the answer before you even work that out, would be my hint to you. Because if there's only one that goes through point -4, -4, you don't have to worry about working out extra steps. Number 6 is very similar to the one we did on number 2.